All right, here we go. My name's Jeff K, and you're listening to episode 430 of the world-famous West Virginia Surf Report podcast.
Hello, world.
Are you into the midnight snack? Something to eat, like late at night, like hours after dinner? You get kind of hungry. I mean, I'm always hungry, but I'm always hungry. Like when I get home from work, sometimes I stop at Sheetz and get something terrible, but often I just come home and try to eat something here. The problem is, there's two people in this house, Tony and the younger boy, who are very light sleepers, and I'm becoming like that too. But they're way ahead of me, very light sleepers. So I can't. One of my favorite things is like toast with apple butter. Put 2 slices of toast in there, put some apple butter on there. Fantastic. That's a good midnight snack right there. And it's not even that bad for you, I don't think. Or sometimes I buy the toaster strudels. That's right. Those things are delicious, but both those things require me to use a toaster. And the toaster wakes everybody up. I don't know how. Just the pop-up sound. Like when it pops up, everybody's like, "What's that? Somebody here?" And also, Tony doesn't sleep in the bed all night. She sleeps upstairs. She goes to bed at night, at 9 o'clock or 9:30. She goes to bed early. By, midnight, 1 a.m., she's on the move. She moves downstairs, sleeps on the couch for a while. Sometimes she even moves a third time and goes to a different couch in the family room. I don't know what the hell. Very light sleepers. The younger boy, he can't, everything wakes him up, So I can't use those. I can't use the toaster. I can't use the microwave. If I rattle a bag, everybody wakes up. So I got to be real quiet. So I thought I need something. I gotta have something. And I don't know what it would be. So I went to the grocery store. On my way over there, I was thinking maybe cereal with bananas. I mean, opening the cereal, I could grab the cereal box. This is what I live. This is the way I live my life. I could grab the bowl, and I could grab the cereal box, bring it downstairs, and pour the cereal into the bowl. Go back to the kitchen, put some milk on it, and slice up a banana. And it would be relatively quiet. Might not wake up both of them. Might just only wake up one of them. I don't know. A knife going through a banana, that might be a little bit too noisy. I live in an insane asylum. But anyway, so that's what I went. I went over there to get some stuff for late night snacks. I'm hungry all the time, especially late at night. If I don't go to Sheetz for just a bag of garbage, then I come home. I try to eat something that's halfway, something good. But anyway, so I went over there and I thought, I'm going to get some cereal. I'm going to get a big box of Rice Krispies. I like simple cereals. I like the Rice Krispies, just the regular ones. I don't want any frosted or anything like that. Just regular Rice Krispies, just like they had in the 1800s, or Corn Flakes, just like they had in the 1800s. I don't know when Rice Krispies. I think Corn Flakes have literally been around since the 1800s. I don't know when the Krispies came on the market, but anyway, I like the classic. I like stuff like that. I like just the simple stuff, right? And some bananas. That's what I was going to do. So I went over there, and the large box of Rice Krispies was $6.69. $6.69. I mean, I admit that I don't do the grocery shopping. The only time I do any shopping is for snacks. I have to go over there and do an addendum to Tony's weekly shop because she refuses to buy snacks. There's got to be snacks. How can you live your life without snacks? I can't navigate a snackless existence. You know? So I got to go over there. I do my own snack shopping, and then everybody eats them. You know, everybody, the kids, you know, I don't know. She doesn't eat, you know. But anyway, so that's the only shopping I do. So I was shocked by that price. $6.69 for a box of cereal. What has happened? Where's everybody? I went to McDonald's the other day. I know I sound like some old man. The prices these days are outrageous. But I went to McDonald's the other day, and I got a Big Mac meal, medium fries, medium Coke, and I don't even go to fast food anymore. This is a rarity. I don't go there. I don't buy too much fast food anymore. I've kind of weaned myself off of it. Although I've noticed that recently I've kind of slid back, and I've gone recently a few times, but I don't, it's nothing like I used to, right? But I went to this one day, I went to McDonald's, and I got that, and it was $13. What the hell? How's that possible? $13. I think that's all I got. It was just the number one Big Mac meal. I don't know. Everything's just like shockingly expensive. I don't know. You have to be a millionaire. You have to be a millionaire to live a normal life. But anyway, $6.69 for a box of cereal. And then Tony said, you better get some milk because I don't think we have much milk. It was $4.50 or something for a gallon of milk. Like, how do people live? It's better when I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about this stuff. This stuff stresses me out, you know? But I'll tell you what, I'm going to eat every last granule of those Krispies. There's not going to be, it's a snap, crackle, pop. I mean, I'm gonna eat every snap, every crackle, and every pop. They're going to be ingested. I'm not, there's not going to be one little rice nodule left in that bag. If it costs $6.69, those things are like little pieces of gold. What has happened? Why is everything so expensive? I remember I wrote these back when I did my website was at the beginning. I did these original features on there. And one of them was Surf Report Rules of Thumb. These are things that are true. You know, that was pretty good. And I did one, I don't know, I can't remember. But one of them was I reviewed all the fast food restaurants. And one of the themes in there was, you know, a value meal should cost no more than $5. I don't know what year this was, 2001, something like that. And there was every fast food restaurant was less than $5, except for one, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was beyond. Even back then, it was expensive. That place is expensive too. You go in there, it's like $13. You know, like what the $13 for shit fast food at the counter. Nobody's bringing it to you or anything. It's just ordered at the counter, you know. That should be $7. It's $13. I don't know. Anyway, that's my old man rant for the day. Explain this to me. The other night I went into the downstairs bathroom to urinate. I went in there for a quick urination visit. And I walked through the door, took care of business, you know, and then walked out the door, the same door I just walked through. And in the time it took me to do a normal urination session, I mean, there was nothing unusual about it. It wasn't longer than usual. It was a normal session. There was cobwebs across the doorway. So I walked through it, peed, walked out it, cobwebs, like all across the door. How? Can you explain that to me? Like, how's that possible? They're across my face, in my hair. How in the hell? Can you explain? Did I fall asleep in there? Did I miss? Was there a wrinkle in time while I was? I don't know. How did that happen? Can you explain it to me? Please help me. I'm very scared. Also, another thing that's scary is I've been reading all these end of year best albums, the best albums of 2024. Everybody has releasing their lists. You know, and I'm that stuff I used to love. I mean, that stuff is I used to read. The Village Voice had this thing called the Paz and Jop survey, and it was they invited every music critic in the world to contribute a list of their favorite albums ranked, their favorite singles of the year of the previous year, ranked, and favorite singles, favorite reissues. I don't know. I feel like there might be another category, but anyway, favorite albums, favorite singles are the main ones, and they would combine all this data and release this big master list. And it felt like that Village Voice Paz and Jop survey, that was the final word on it, because all the critics contributed to this thing, right? And I loved that thing. I mean, especially when it went online. I used to read it when it was just in the newspaper, the Village Voice. But when it went online, after they started posting it, they'd post the master lists, and then they would post each individual critic's lists, the ones they contributed. So there's critics that you like Ira Robbins, for instance, founded the late great Trouser Press magazine. You could go in there and see what he listed as favorite albums of the year, or big names like Dave Marsh or whatever, whatever critics. All the critics were in there, and you could look at their lists as well. And I loved that stuff. I ate that stuff up, man. That was, I loved that. Right? Okay. So this year and last year and the year before, I go online and I look to see what Rolling Stone, Pitchfork, Stereo Gum, all these music websites, what they have listed as best albums of the year. Also, Sound Opinions podcast, and there's even a Paz and Jop Facebook page. But they just have music nerds. It's not actual review. It's not reviewers. It's just people who are really, really big into music, just kind of nerds. And I would put myself in that category. I just don't know enough about it anymore. But they all contribute, and they released a list. So I'm looking at these things, and I don't know anybody. I go down the list, and I'd say 80% of it I've never even heard of before. And then there's maybe another 10% that I've heard of, but I don't think I've ever heard the music. At least I've seen the name. And then there's 10% that I know. And I used to be so plugged into that stuff. I used to know everything about everything back in the old days. Even stuff that wasn't in the genres that I listened to, like the stuff I listened to. I mean, I knew of it, and I knew what it sounded like, and I've heard it and all that. I don't know anything anymore, and that's disheartening. So I looked at that Paz and Jop list, and the number one was this band called Waxahachie. I'd heard of them. I mean, I'm aware of them. It was listed as number one album of the year. Waxahachie. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or Hetchy. Waxahachie or something along those lines. So that's pretty good. It's a female singer. It's good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But I did listen to maybe half of the album after that came out, after I saw that. It was good. I don't know. And then you just go down the list. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't like it. I don't know what this is. And it's like, I don't know. I used to be so, into that stuff. Now I don't know shit. And I don't want to be one of these guys that just gets stuck in some era. Just get stuck in an era back when I was like high school or right after. I don't want to. I do try to get into new music and stuff. It's hard. I don't know how you do it anymore. I mean, I don't know. I work at it, but I'm not very good at it. I do listen to new bands here and there, but it's not like it used to be. I try not to be one of these guys just stuck in like the 80s or whatever. I try not to be. It's hard. It's easy just to throw on something you love, something you're familiar with. I started listening to this XMU channel on Sirius XM, where it's new indie music. It's pretty good. It's not I'm gonna start listening to that. Maybe it's a good way to stay semi-hip. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes you just want to hear what stuff you know. It's a trap you get in. The younger boy's in England. He's in England right now, and he's doing all right. He had a little trouble one night. He didn't sleep. He couldn't sleep very well. So he was texting me late at night. He was losing. He goes, I think I'm going insane. I was like, I said, I don't know, man. I think you're just getting up in your head. He goes, I got a whole day. We got a whole day planned tomorrow. I think I've slept like 2 hours. It was late, and they're 5 hours ahead. I said, just try to go to sleep. I don't know if I don't know. Or tell them, that you didn't get enough. If you only get 2 hours sleep, tell them you need 3 more hours, and wake me up at 10 or whatever. I don't know, but I guess he went back to sleep after that. But he was flipping out in the middle of the night. He goes, "This is a disaster. I feel like I'm losing my mind." It's like, I think you might be overreacting a little bit. He's texting me from England, middle of the night. But since then, it's been smooth sailing. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're out and about, I wish I was over there. That got me and Tony all fired up about going over there. Maybe we're even thinking about maybe doing it next year. Because it feels like it's expensive, and it is. It's not. I mean, it is expensive. But so is going to Las Vegas, or so is going anywhere, Everywhere you go is expensive. If we go to Cincinnati is shockingly expensive. Cincinnati, Ohio. Like, what the? You'd think that would be cheap. No, you'd be wrong. If you made that assumption, your assumption would be wrong. It's expensive. God. And so anyway, it's not that more expensive, Maybe a little bit, just a slight amount more. We're going to do it. I think we're going to do it. At least we're talking about it right now. Might go back to London, stay in the same neighborhood we stayed last time. It's a good base. You're right by the tube station. It's a nice neighborhood. There's a lot of great pubs there, and there's restaurants and stuff. It's all within walking distance. The hotel's nice. It's got a cool bar downstairs. Perfect, perfect. We're right now. He's got us all fired up. We're planning to do it too. We'll see how it goes. But he's having fun, sending me pictures. He got it set up so that his phone, so he can use his phone internationally without, fees. So that's good. And the last episode I talked about. It was on the Patreon side. I talked about the trip driving in the JFK airport. First time I ever drove in the boroughs of New York. And in fact, on the way back, I drove through Manhattan. If you're on Patreon, you can hear that episode. That was quite an ordeal. Yeah, and then we got to pick him up again on, 21st, I think. So anyway, I'm jealous. He's over there having a good time. Sending us pictures. Send his mother pictures. He sends Tony pictures. Doesn't send me too many. And I'm keeping track. I got a whiteboard up here. How many pictures did he send you today? 7. You know how many he sent me? 1. He sent me a picture of a soda that he bought that he was enjoying. Sends Tony pictures of Buckingham Palace, Tower Bridge. He sends me a picture of a bottle of soda from Scotland that he bought. Anyway, I got the whiteboard going. Last episode, or I don't know when, a recent episode, I was talking about Mrs. X. When I was a kid, Mrs. X, when I was a kid, gave my mother a big stack of tidy whities that her son didn't like or didn't want. Did you hear that episode? Well, that was and my mom was like, I don't want to tell the whole story again. She goes, you guys can use these. I said, what? Are you serious? I said, there's absolutely no way. Right? So anyway, I told that whole story. You can hear that in a previous episode. I can't remember which one it was. I didn't want to say her name. She's some woman that was in the neighborhood. Her kids are still around. Mrs. X. But anyway, I told that. So that's an underwear story. So now I got another one. All right. I don't know how this theme keeps happening, but so back when I first started listening to podcasts, I listened to the first podcast I ever listened to in my life was Adam Carolla, the Adam Carolla Show. And then I branched out to some others. There were several others that I listened to in the early days, and I started listening to Mark Maron's podcast early on, listened to every episode of that thing for years. Hundreds of episodes I listened to that. And then I listened to, there's other ones, I don't know, I can't remember them. There's something called Bullseye that I used to listen to. Anyway, I was an early adopter on the podcast, and I still listen to a lot of podcasts. And there was an ad on pretty much every podcast for this outfit called MeUndies, right? And it was in the early days. It was men's underwear. And on that Carolla show, they'd be like, "I'm sporting my MeUndies, and today, how about you, Gary? You got you? Yep, I got my MeUndies briefs on." Yeah, I got the boxer briefs. Never had so much comfort, and I've never experienced this level of ball comfort in all my life. Like what the hell? This is like, I don't know. There's, women have the fancy, have the fancy underwear, like Victoria's Secret and all that. But the men's, this is something I don't know. I never heard of this. So I was curious. Went on their website. And the things are like, $28, $30 a pair. A pair. One pair of drawers. $30. I was like, what the? Like, what the hell? There is absolutely no way. But then they just keep talking about them on these podcasts. These are the most comfortable. Once you try these, and then there's other ones that popped up like Tommy John. I thought Tommy John was a pitcher who blew out his elbow, and they created a surgery. I don't know what the hell. Now it's a whole different thing. It's some kind of men's underwear company. And there's Mack Weld. I don't know. These things are on all these podcasts. I hear all these men's underwear ads. Expensive. Like, shockingly expensive. Like, what the? How could these be any better? I mean, what is so great about them? How could they justify charging $30 a pair? I'm not even joking. Go on their website and take a look at it. The only problem with that is once you go to their website, you'll get inundated with social media ads for the rest of your life. If you go on there, you'll get blasted with MeUndies ads just like for the rest of your life. All right, so I get these ads, and they're on Instagram mostly. I don't really hear the ads on the podcast anymore. Not for. And by the way, MeUndies, I don't like that. That bothers me. That name bugs me. But anyway, I don't hear their ads on podcasts anymore. I sure as hell see them on social media. And I was always kind of curious about it, because how could it be so great? If they make it sound like it's so great, But there's no way I'm ever paying $30 a pair for them, right? So, okay. So this is like 10 years ago, maybe longer. I don't know. I started hearing these ads, and I looked at it, and I said, nope. All right. So fast forward to 2024, the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I saw on Instagram, it said, biggest sale, it said MeUndies, biggest sale in the history of our company. Men's underwear from $4 a pair. I said, yeah, right. Yeah, I've been suckered into that before. I've seen also, in the past they said, up to 65% off, and you click through there, there's like nothing on there. I don't know. It's like, what is this? I don't know what the hell. Now I've clicked through this thing. It's gonna be 10 more years of ads, So I went on there, and it was crap. It was stuff. I was looking at the boxer briefs, and they were not $4, by the way. It was more like $11, which is still a good price for that stuff. But it was all this weird stuff, like weird. It had like pineapples on it. Or like Darth Vader's head, or I don't know, like what do you call it? Like cocktail glasses, or chili peppers. It's like these underwear. There's like almost like underoos, something like kids would wear, like something like a fourth grader would wear. I'm not wearing that shit. What the hell? I'm not wearing Darth Vader britches, So I was just scrolling down through there. They had all kinds of them. They're like $11 a pair or something. I was like, I don't know about that. Even that's too much. But I was just seeing if they had anything. And there was a couple of them that were semi-normal. They were less hideous. They were hideous, but slightly less hideous. Click through the thing. They have size extra small or 4X. Everything in between was sold out. So here we go. Damn it. Why do I click through this stuff? Why do I get suckered into this stuff? So I scrolled all the way down to the bottom. They scrolled till it ended. And then there was like, I don't know, maybe like 5 pairs of briefs at the bottom. Also hideous. Like cat heads and stuff. Do people wear these things? I don't understand. I really don't. But then they had just black, solid black. So I clicked through that, and they had my size. I thought, well, I don't know about that. $4. They were literally $4. That was the cheapest thing on the site. $4. I thought, should I try these things out? At least I could just, give them a ride, take them out for a ride. Just see what. I mean, I've been curious about this shit for 15 years or 10 years or something. So I ordered them. I ordered 3 pairs. 3 pairs for $4. And there was a shipping, $7. So I got them for $19. 3 pairs. And so this will be my first experience with these mysterious, these underwear that's impossibly expensive. Supposedly, according to all these podcasters, the most comfortable thing. I mean, your balls are gonna be, spoiled for, you're not, this is gonna be something you're never gonna forget, right? So I ordered them. And it took forever. I don't know. I guess because I'm only paying $4 a pair, they put them on the back burner. Those things were not a priority, clearly. It took forever to come in the mail. And eventually they arrived. And, all right, I tried them out. All right, you ready? Here's my review. Yeah, they're all right. They're fine. I don't know why they're cost $30. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think this is like some kind of scam. I don't know what the hell's going on. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them at all. But, I don't know, 15 years of curiosity dashed. I don't know. Whatever. Never again. I don't know why. How do you get caught up in some kind of brand name or something? I feel like a fool. But anyway, that happened. Let's see what else I got. Oh, also, speaking of the ordering stuff through the mail, my dad has this phone, and it's old. He doesn't upgrade them. He went kicking and screaming into smartphones. I think he's on his second one, and it's a Samsung, but it's something I never heard of before, some model I've never heard of before, and I don't know. It's old, and his case broke. He broke his case, or it snapped, or something. I don't know what happened to it, but he's been looking all over. He goes to these places and sees to see if he can find a case for it, and they keep saying, "Oh, we don't have that thing's." That thing's, they don't even make those anymore, And he told me about it. I said, I bet Amazon has it. I said, could you send me because I looked into it, and they made two different. They made a 2017 and a 2018. They're different. You have to have two different cases. Like, they're not interchangeable. So if it was made in 2017. It was a different case than the one that was made in 2018, even though it's the same phone, same model and everything. I said, can you just send me whatever numbers you can find, and I'll figure out what the hell's going on, and I'll find the case for you, and I'll have it sent to your place in Florida. He goes, well, just tell me how much it's going to cost. I said, I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. I said, I got you. So I ordered the thing. I found I did the research. It was a 2018 model. He has the more modern one. And I bought the case. It was from Amazon, and it was sent to his place down in Florida. And the thing was lost. The thing was like the tracking. It said it was in Florida, and then it said it was in Texas. Like it started in California, I think. It shipped from California, I believe, and then it was in Florida, and then it went back to Texas, and then it just went missing. It just sat. It just said delay in shipment, right? No movement for days. And my dad's like, "Yeah, this online shopping, that's great stuff." I can see why everybody He's like anti-technology. I said, I have never had this happen before, or at least I can't remember. I said, I don't know, this isn't normal. Yeah. So the thing, finally it said, this thing must be lost. Would you like for us to ship him, or would you like for us to ship a replacement at no cost? I said, yes. And then after I ordered it, it said, if the original one shows up, it's going to be your responsibility to ship it back, ship one of them back, or you'll be charged for both. And I'm like, oh, God. If the thing has to be returned, and it's going to be up to my parents, that's going to be that's going to be something. That's going to be an ordeal, right? So I didn't know that part. I would have just given it a few more days. I didn't know that. If I'd have known that, I'd just said, let's just give it another week. Let's see what happens. All right. So you can guess what happened. Both of them showed up on the same day. The original one still said delayed in shipment, and then suddenly it was delivered. There's nothing on the tracking. So my dad's like, I want to send you some money for this. I said, don't worry about the money. And I said, just have a backup. I just decided I wasn't even going to tell them. I'll just pay for both of them. And it's not that much anyway. It'd be worth it for me to pay for both of them than to go down that road where they have to go to the UPS store. They won't know where that is. You know what I mean? And they'll have to. There's one of those barcodes, those square barcodes, those 2D barcodes. They'll have to. I'd have to send that to them because they don't have any data on their phones. I'd have to text that to them. They'd have to take that. The whole thing would be. It'd take an entire day out of. They would spend an entire day on this. I'd rather just pay for both of them. I said, you just take, if one of them breaks or whatever, now you got a backup. Don't worry about it. I'm glad it fit perfectly. So I said, I'm just glad that I was able to help you. Don't worry about it. He was like, no, and I said, no, everything's cool. Just enjoy the phone case on your 2018 model. Oh my God, everything. Why? Why is everything crazy all the time? 669 cereal. Stuff stuck in Texas, goes to Florida, then back to California, Florida, back to Texas. They're in Florida. I don't know what the hell's going on. Why's everything messed up? And these MeUndies. It's like your balls are floating on a cloud. I don't know about that. They're fine. Whatever. They're not $30 fine. I can tell you that much. Anyway, let's see what else we got. All right. We got a few more things. We're already running late. I got one phone call that came in over the old Surf Report hotline. It's from our old pal Ian in Scotland, and here it is.
Hey Jeff, Ian in Scotland here. Season's greetings to you. It's 30th of December here. 29th, sorry. Lost track of time. Which happens at this time of year. So Jeff, a couple of things for you. First off, have you seen a documentary called Winnebago Man? This is off the back of your talk about zines or zines and things going viral. So this Winnebago guy, angriest man in the world, you probably know about it. But yeah, it went viral on VHS tape, if you like. This guy losing his shit while doing a commercial for Winnebagos. So you probably heard of it, but then again, maybe you haven't. I was reminded about a time when I was given a song by someone, by a band called Soundgarden. Black Hole Sun is a song by Soundgarden. And this is only like 5 years ago. And I never heard of the band before. And my mate was like, how could you have missed this? They're right on you, as you say, in your wheelhouse. I was big into Pearl Jam and Pixies and kind of shoegazer, stoner rock. Never heard of Soundgarden. Passed me by for some reason. Great band. And the same guy said to me, he says, you have not heard far, far more music than you have actually heard. Which is a strange but true phrase. The second thing I was going to ask you about was, I was born in a laundromat. Talking about laundromats, have you heard the album Key Lime Pie by the band Camper Van Beethoven? It's an old one, but man, it's so good. One of my favourite albums of all time. Keep going back to great tunes on it. I think you would like it. Number 3, you talk about Myrtle Beach and the price drop in December and January. I think you should go in January if you're thinking about it. You prefer Mondays off to Fridays, and it's the same kind of vibe. But December would be bullshit for me. It would be full of Christmas carols and Christmas nonsense. Whereas on the flip side, January is that beautiful time of year when it's all in the rear view mirror and time has that, it's like an exhalation period. The year just goes, it's over, and it's got that slowness to it. I love January. It's great. If I was you thinking about it, I'd be going January, man. And avoid all the Christmas carol shenanigans. Okay, I think that's about it. Keep up the work. Speak to you soon. Bye.
I saw that Winnebago Man. I saw that. I think it was a long, long time ago. It's one of those things. I vaguely remember it was about some guy, some grouchy bastard, who filmed like instructional videos for people that bought a Winnebago. I think that's what it was. Or maybe it was sales pitches. I don't know. It was something to do, some kind of industrial, some kind of like corporate videos about Winnebago trailers, campers. Right? And there's all these outtakes that somebody leaked where he's just like spewing profanity, just throwing these big giant hissy fits and just dropping F-bombs like the Blitz, you know. It's like World War II. Those bombs are dropping like World War II. So anyway, and it became one of those things where people were trading them around on VHS. And then somebody made a documentary where they tried to track him down, tried to find the Winnebago man. So it was a really good documentary. I think I saw it back in the old days when Netflix used to, well, I guess they did until recently, but back in the old days when they used to get DVDs in the mail, and you'd have a queue, and you'd say, these are the next discs that you'll be getting in the mail. And at the height of it, I used to get 3 discs at a time. So I'd have 3 discs at one time. You'd watch it, drop it in the mail, go back, the next one would be shipped to you. Remember those days? Good stuff. That was kind of fun, you know. But anyway, I think that's when I saw Winnebago Man. And it's one of those things, I don't remember I remember the premise. I don't remember too many details about it. I just remember liking it. Do you ever get that where you can't remember stuff? You can't really remember details about something. You just remember how you felt about it. I do that a lot, like movies. Did you ever see this movie? I saw it, and I remember I didn't really like it, you know, or something. You just remember what you felt about it. You don't remember the details of it. But I remember liking it. I thought that was great. I thought the Winnebago Man, I like that whole story. There's another one. There's another movie where this guy was recording. I think he was in an apartment house somewhere. He was in an apartment building. And his neighbors were like arguing all the time. It's like 2 men. I don't remember. Possibly gay, like a gay couple. But they were always arguing all the time and insulting each other. And the guy started recording them. There's another. What was that? That's another one that I remember. It was along the same lines. And those tapes were being traded and distributed in the underground, you know. Anyway, yeah, I've seen Winnebago Man. I want to try to watch that again. That sounds great. You know, I remember liking it, and I need to track that down. That's good stuff. That's the kind of stuff I like. But and let's see what else you said. What now? Soundgarden. Hang on a second. I can't read my notes. I can't read my chicken scratch. Hang on. You didn't know Soundgarden. Somehow the band Soundgarden got past you, even though that was right in your wheelhouse. Okay. Yeah, that happens to me too. Like there'll be something, like I was in the 80s, you know, I was all about the independent and underground and punk rock / new wave stuff. All that stuff I loved. And I thought I knew everything. And every once in a while, I'll come across some band that's fantastic, and it was from that era. I'm like, how do I not know these? How in the world did this band get past me? Like, how? You know? So I understand that. I love Soundgarden. I saw them twice at least. I saw them once at the Fox in Atlanta, which is this old theater in Atlanta. It's great. I also saw Prince there. I saw the Black Crowes there. I saw Bob Dylan there. You know, and the opening act, Jason and the Scorchers. But yeah, I saw Soundgarden there, and I think I saw them maybe at the Cotton Club believe it or not, which is a small little place. But anyway, I loved Soundgarden. R.I.P. Too bad. They're all gone. Well, the band's gone. The lead singer's gone. And hang on a second. You told me, you mentioned just in passing you were born at a laundromat. Is that what you said? You just said, oh, and by the way, I was born in a laundromat. And did you like Camper Van Beethoven's... Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Go back. You were born in a laundromat? Is that what I heard you say? We need more information, Ian. We need that story for sure. What happened there? Crazy. Key Lime Pie by Camper Van Beethoven. Absolutely, I love that. I love that band. I love that album. They had two that were on Virgin. Key Lime Pie and what was the other one? I can't remember. I don't remember. But there were two of them that were on Virgin. Then they had a whole bunch that were on indie labels. And then they broke up. And David Lowery, who's the leader of Camper Van Beethoven, formed Cracker, who I also love. They had their first two albums are great, especially the first one. That thing's a masterpiece. The second one had a big hit on it called Low, I think. That thing was a big hit. And then I don't know what happened to him. I think he got on drugs or alcohol or something. And the next two albums were not great. And then they lost all their momentum. And then he got his shit cleaned up, and they released a great album. By that point, nobody cared. They released an album called Cracker Forever. That thing's great. So anyway, they're still around. They still play. Camper Van Beethoven plays too. I don't know. Sometimes they do these festivals. It's like, I don't remember what they call it, the Cracker Camp Out or something like that. And it's like a 2-night thing, and Cracker headlines the first night, and then Camper Van Beethoven headlines the second night, or vice versa. Yeah, I love Camper Van Beethoven, and I love Cracker, and I love David Lowery as much as solo stuff too. Guy's great. Big fan. Glad you like Key Lime Pie as well. Good album. Myrtle Beach thing. You're right. December would be Christmassy, and that's an annoyance. However, Tony loves it. Tony wants to be down there because they decorate the beach. They put they put these Christmas lights out on the beach and stuff, and all this stuff. And she wants to see all that. So I don't think we can. I'm not going. Part of the whole thing for her is to be down there around Christmas time. If it were up to me, I'm totally in agreement with you, Ian. January, when when it's all in the rear view and you can just go, it's over. I don't have to worry about that crap anymore. I don't have to worry about it, making people sad, disappointed. I don't have to worry about, stressing out on, is everybody happy? Did I do enough? All that stuff. It's all in the rear view. It's gone. And now I'm at the beach for a month for $1,500. It's $50 a day. I don't know, less than $50 a day if we're there for 31 days. And that's a hell of a deal, But I'm totally in agreement with you. I don't think I can convince Tony of that, because one of the things she wants to do is she wants to be there at Christmas time. Anyway. And speaking of laundromats, we got our dryer fixed. So I only had to go one time. I only went one time. And it only cost $78 to have it fixed. And to me, that sounds like the part was $3, right? It feels like it cost $75 for the guy to walk through, to step across our, through our door, through our front door. That's $75, and then whatever it cost after that. So to me, it cost $78 to fix this thing, He said it was some kind of thermostat. He said it wasn't the main thermostat. There's 2 thermostats, which he's replaced the other one twice. This is the second thermostat, and it was only $78. So I have a feeling they cost $75 for him to drive to our house, walk through our front door. That's $75. And then the part is $3. I mean, I don't know. But it's fixed, it's working, so I feel like I was a bullet dodged because we were getting ready to buy a new dryer. And we got it fixed for $78. So anyway. So I need more information on being born in a laundromat. Is that what you said? It sounded like that. Anyway, thanks for calling, Ian. I appreciate it. Call back anytime. I appreciate it. Tell me about this laundromat thing. I'm interested. I'm curious. And if any of the rest of you would like to call, I invite you as well. The number 570-290-8151. Just call and tell me what's on your mind. Ask me questions. Make suggestions, etc., etc. And if you want 2 of these episodes a week instead of a measly 1, you can do that too by heading over to what is it called? Patreon. It's Patreon, patreon.com/JeffK. Sign up for a $4 or more monthly donation, and you'll get an extra episode every week, or at least every time there's a new one to the main network. There's a Patreon episode right behind it, just a few days later, and it's full length, exactly like these episodes. There's no difference. I'm not talented enough to make a difference. I only know one way of doing these podcasts, and this is it. So if you want an extra full-length episode and you don't want to pay a whole bunch of money for it, you're in luck. $4. You won't even notice it. Put it on a credit card. That it'll come out once a month, and you won't even notice it's gone. You know what you will notice? An extra episode every week. And surfreportpod.com is the web home of the podcast, so check that out as well. Expanded show notes, links, pictures, all that jazz. surfreportpod.com. And we're at the end of this thing. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, which will be on the Patreon side, hope you guys have yourselves a fine, fine day. I'll see you. Bye. I've never experienced this level of ball comfort in all my life.